And we're back. So for folks that might be tuning in new, we just finished a creative stream, which was a subscriber reward. It's public, so the VOD should be on Twitch. It should also be on YouTube, depending on when you're viewing this later and where you're viewing this later. My name is Joel Duggan, if you haven't figured that out already. And the creative stream that we just did was all about building, and it was a building Q&A with the community. And it is because y'all are awesome. And we hit 200 subs this month. And I just realizing, looking at the graphic, that it has somehow been moved around. I don't know why this doesn't stay where it should be. I always seem to have to move this whenever it changes. It won't justify where I want it to justify. It's really bizarre. Anyway, that VOD, I wanted to do something separate because I want to get back onto the Citadel and play in a real survival building environment, so we can continue to make sure that I'm in survival. We can continue the conversation, of course, and talk about you know, the different techniques that I use for building. Why? Oh, I was in a different thing. All of my resource packs are going to be off. I don't like that about running different versions of Minecraft. That's annoying. I guess we'll just bring everything over and then reorganize it. Connected glass. This is tedious. Sorry, I forgot about this. I think that's everything I use. I really need to condense this all down into one or two packs. I have just not done it yet. Put that at the bottom. Tweaks, blah, 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 blah. I think that this has got to be above that. That should be okay. Anyway, sorry, complete sidebar. But some of the questions that we had during the Q&A that I just did, before moving back to this, which is the Citadel, my 4-year-old server that I share with Cosmic and other people on the Citadel. And there's a lot of questions about roof lines. Why do I outline roofs? How do I plan out big areas? So for that, I thought we could take a little bit of a flight, especially if there's new people here. You'll get a chance to see. That's a lot of emeralds. My guess it's from Cosmic. Now you're only a little bit emerald poor, Cosmic. Thanks, Cosmic. Holy crap. A lot of emeralds. Appreciate that. So, getting up here, talking about building an area. Let's try to get as high as we can. Actually, let's go over here. So one of the reasons I chose to build West Hill in this area was because of this mountain that we're standing on. It's a big natural barrier. It's very cool looking. You can see it from the whole town. And it provided kind of like a way for me to not have to build a wall around the entire thing. Gave us some interesting terrain. Also, this kind of chunk right through to about there was raised up compared to the other side. So it had this topographical change. We've carved it down a little bit with the wall. So this used to be much more gradual from this level up to the level up there, but we made it sharp with the wall. But it existed already. And so that's one of the reasons why we chose West Hill as this location. And the other reason was the rivers. Like this little peninsula is basically just, we've refined it, but this was all Minecraft made, this little area here. So that's one of the reasons why this area was chosen. The other one, in terms of the farmland and stuff, I wanted a nice flat approach. And when you're coming out of these trees, again, this was just a natural Minecraft thing. There's just this natural reveal. We've made a path now, but when you come through the trees, you just get this wide open meadow. And depending on your render distance, you eventually see the mountain come in on the right-hand side here. Right? There it is there. So that provides some interesting scale and depth and all kinds of stuff. And that's why we chose this location. In terms of planning, it's been a lot of just kind of fly by the seat of your pants. A lot of like planning around the river, thinking about what I wanted to see when I walked in. The bridge was key. So we started off with like stuff that made sense. We started off with things like the bridge, and it made sense to have a bridge there. I wanted to frame it when you came in the main gate here. So like when you come in, the bridge is very much visible by the street, you know? It's like the first thing you see. Kind of goes hand in hand with the question I had about terraforming. When terraforming something like a big grass hill, for instance, how do you keep it looking natural rather than looking like I've tried to make grass steps? I've done that over here, I think. Little bit. So I haven't finished it. But essentially, what I do is approach it the same way that you approach a roof, right? But instead of roofs going vertical, you can go horizontal. So here we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1. This would probably be better if this was like too thick, you know? So as you get closer to the river, depending on how you want to handle it, you can get more shallow with your layers. Like, see how this has got like 5 and then 5, and then you can start to go sharper as you get higher. I feel like that's a good way to do it. You can see here where I'm planning on smoothing that out a little bit here to create something. But then around the corner, I think I've got a hard edge somewhere. Yeah. So switch it up. You know, like add in stones, make a retaining wall, or just make a rock. You know, here's some natural Minecraft stuff, and it doesn't look like stairs because there's some sheer rock faces. I would go in and remove this grass here, but like if you turn this all into rock, then you're going to understand why it's so steep, right? I think a lot of that kind of problems with like grass stairs comes from the material. I think if you change up the material, it gives you an excuse to go sharper. Same thing with over here. We've done that with this little stone thing here, right? Flat grass to the river, sharper edges on the stone. But you don't question that because you think like, well, I see cliffs all the time. You know, I mean, this is just a rock, but like, you know, stuff like this, breaking things up. I think that might be an easy way to do it. I don't know if I've done much along here. These sort of look like grass steps. Like I can understand how that's a problem. And to that I say, bushes, you know, cover it up with bushes. Oh, it's really far away, but I had great success with a solid wall of double high ferns and double high grass. Mr. Mapman, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. We're doing a little Q&A wrap up here from the creative stream. This area here, Cosmic, this is very step-like. This is very vanilla Minecraft, sort of like grass steps. But when you cover it with too high grass and too high ferns, it changes it a lot. So I quite enjoy that. I don't think I like the bamboo as much, but I like this look, especially from this angle. Like this angle, it feels like, doesn't feel like Minecraft at all. So that's a good technique too. You could throw in some bushes in there too. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to go over the different build questions. I hope I was able to answer everything. So again, that's going to be a separate VOD that you can check out. We're going to return to building here in Westhill because we've been working on these new builds down in Lowtown, which is this like poorer section down here. And as luck would have it, we're in the process of adding in some new buildings. So very similar to what we were going to be doing in the creative stream. This is like, I just thought, why do it in creative when I can come in here and do it for real? Especially because I'm going to have to mess around with proportions about this tower and stuff, and like messing with like sight lines. So I figured this would be a better spot to do all of this, because then we're actually progressing here and we don't have to worry about it. The first thing I want to do though is I have to move. I don't know where to put that. I don't need that many slabs. Don't know if I have room for this in here. Not quite. I think what I'll do is we'll knock this down. Thanks again, Cosmic, for the emeralds. Appreciate it. More than likely the color will cover it. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like if you get a lot of flowers, 2 high flowers look fantastic when you put them all together like that. It's super cool. Let's just take all of this inside. I don't know why we'd need this many slabs, but we now have them. Oh, it's fine. I don't mind the extra stuff. My gosh, all the different spruce that I don't have to harvest. That's great. Cannot complain. Cannot complain. We'll just put them in a spare shulker here. That was not empty. Weird. And then I've got spruce over here. I always forget that we've got this not so secret entrance now. Oh, dark. Must cut tall grass. Mex Kruger, not a fan of the tall grass. Normally this is where I would say that there's a tweet out there to go share, and there is, but it's outdated because we're no longer doing the creative stream. But if you want to go share that I'm live with your friends, just tell them to come to twitch.tv/JoelDuggan and hang out. Then that would be awesome. We are trying to grow the channel. You see that there's a metric. There was a metric at the top side of the screen. Did I? Huh. I must be using the wrong Minecraft source in Streamlabs. Whoops. Anyway, the goal is to try to have more than 100 people per stream viewing. So if we don't have that, then bring people in. Grab a friend. It's fun to hang out and build stuff. So we'll have to come out with... We'll start, I guess, with some of these logs. And slabs, surprisingly. I don't know if I'm going to keep it like this, but I do find it kind of an interesting shape. I want to think about this area as being accessible, so I want to make sure that I'm not getting too close with these things. So a 2 wide path here tends to be pretty good. I feel like it widens to 3 a little bit too soon, so I might want to try to bump this over here. And I also feel like this should curve more and maybe come out like in this direction. And that's why I think I might want to move this a little bit more forward. So go grab some cobble as well. Oh, I don't have any light rockets. So one of the things I noticed when I was looking at this is that I feel like I want this to be like a little bit closer. So because it's Minecraft, I feel like even just moving it to here is going to make a big difference. And this is what I mean about working in wireframes, because if you have to move something, it is not a big deal. Yeah. Yeah, I like that closer. I don't think I want it any closer than that, but I think it takes it out from being too underneath that build. So like if this comes up and there's a roof here, you're still going to be able to see this. It's not going to impact that too much. Don't know how tall we want this to be, but I do like the way that the path is curved now. So like here. Like I can see this having a door there. So you'll see on the map, this is another tool that I like to use as well. Nice curved path. Does leave us a spot here, and I'm thinking this is more than likely going to be greenery. I'd imagine this will end up being just bushes. That, or we could put some sort of balcony or something here. That could be cool. That would make this place rather big. We might knock this a little bit shorter. It does feel like it's pretty large. We could do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we might want to knock this back to here. What does that look like when we remove the roof? Let me guess. If it's too tall, the tangent will interfere and mix too much with the castle wall behind it and the view from the bridge. Yeah, exactly. So, Cosmic Dancer. I'll get to your question in a second, Mixcrew Gun. Cosmic Dancer. Thanks for the great building tip stream. I learned so much. $500. Holy smokes, Cosmic. Thank you. The stream was because of the support. That's amazing. We did the stream because of the support, and Cosmic just gave an incredible amount of support. I don't know what to say, Cosmic. Thank you ever so much. Wow. I mean, we can do is hopefully we'll have lots of opportunities for new streams in the future. the goal is to try and get to the point where I'm basically podcasting and streaming full time, and support from Cosmic and other people like Flying Sheep, gifting subs, Tarsirius using a Prime sub. Like all that stuff goes a long way to help me stream more often. I don't think y'all realize how what's the word I'm looking for? Surreal it is to be only 3+ years into a podcast like the Spawn Chunks, only 4 years into streaming, and coming up, like I border on being able to do this as podcasting and streaming as my full-time job. I hesitate to say it out loud sometimes because you don't want to jinx it. But it's because of fantastic support and this growing community that I'm able to do this. And I know I've been saying this a lot on stream, so I don't want to sound too repetitive, but I mean, I feel like saying thank you on mic is just so much different than sending DMs later, which I do, I said do, which I do tend to follow through on. Yes. By chatting with folks in the Discord. But yeah, it's one of those things that it's very cool, strange in a good way, to be looking at being able to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go here. I'm just throwing this together real quick just to kind of see what it might look like. But thanks again, Cosmic Dancer. Sweet Sandy, I know I've asked you before, where's that cool drippy heart from? I quite like it. So it's a little bit heavy on the oak bark blocks, but do we like that small? I feel like... I think what needs to happen is maybe this is a situation where the roof is going to get lower. So maybe we can do a couple of sections to this. Like, what if this popped this way? But it got lower. So maybe, hold on. Oh, it's getting dark. Really dark. Sure. Try to deflect how genius you are. As it isn't going to work, we're on to you, Cosmic Dancer. So, try not to throw too much. Try not to embarrass Cosmic Dancer. But yes, one of the more generous, and not just money-wise, generous with time and support in all the ways that support comes. Yes, Cosmic is awesome. She's also now probably about the same shade as Mangrove would, sitting at her computer. And yes, I think, who was it that got the gift sub a little while ago? They're in the chat now. It wasn't Hazabel. Who was it? I have to switch over to Discord. Alley-oop. It was Alley-oop 926. Got a gift sub. Ah, yes, there you are, Alley-oop. Yeah, so it's stuff like that helps grow the community as well. Awesome. So, yeah, this might be what this needs. Because I want to, the roof needs to be bigger, but it needs to be a little bit lower. So here is where, don't know. See what I did there? Very used to creative all of a sudden. I was trying to bash it and just knock it away. Let's go with 5. See if this looks any better. Yeah, I think maybe we'll switch it to stairs and get a different texture to the roof for that. I think that'll work well. I'm okay with that. I think that'll help. Keeps it being not too small, but has a different change in the roof line. So we'll work with that. And then this other part here, I want to say, I don't think I want it as tall as this other tower. Like, I'm not going for that level. Aha! 35 minutes. Ambi Utreg. I hope I said that right. Welcome in. Thanks for saying hi. We also have this angle to think about as well, because it's going to show up kind of like right here. So I don't think I want it to be any taller than that. And if we're going to be making it, we might as well take a look at what we're going to be making it out of. Probably stone. So we should maybe switch to that. Did I do cobblestone in the bottom of this? I think I did. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I don't want, I want the roof to start below the wall line. So we'll just come up here. I'm going to guess at, what's that? This 5? 1, 2, it's 4. 5, 6, 7. Let's see how this works. Like the oak wood you've used on the roof, looks very much like thatch texture. Yes, yeah. I'm going to splice that with some jungle wood, which we've done over here. I think that looks good. So this has got jungle and oak in it, and we're going to try to do that, I think. So yeah, as long, we might want to drop down by 1 block just because, again, thinking about this approach, it might not be so bad if we stick a roof on that, actually. We'll have to see where the roof comes to. We may... We're going to try it. And I'm going to try it with... I think I'm going to try it with a spruce roof. Because there's so much dark oak behind it. I was rude and interrupted you answering Screwgun's question, which I completely forgot about, which you're in the middle of. It was, oh, let me guess. If it's too tall, the tangent will interfere with the mix too much with the castle. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about now. Yeah. So you can see here, we were talking about tangents and how to avoid them. So a lot of tangents that I talk about, if it's not like a... I guess there's two. There's visual tangents, which is what I'm dealing with now. I really want to sleep so we can see things clearly. But there's visual tangents, and then there's like geometric tangents. The geometric tangents are things like lining up with one another, like stuff like that, right? Like that's a weird thing. That looks better. So that's a geometric tangent. But the visual tangents really depend greatly on where you're standing. So like from the bridge here, a roof, like a dark roof here is going to be fine. But I'm running into a strange tangent right about here, or a near tangent, which is this wall section and this tower are kind of getting lost. Now it'll help when we put a roof on it, right? But until I do that, I'm not entirely sure. And I think I might want to drop this down by a block. That's my first impression, but until I put an actual roof on it, I'm not going to know. And this is why I work in wireframes, which we were talking about, I think, earlier. And that is, it helps me not spend hours and hours and hours moving this stuff around by a single block. Yeah, the pigs aren't going anywhere, which I think is funny. So let's just throw the scaffolding up here. And my guess is that we can go at this level. And I want to put this bottom ring in on purpose because I want to see if this divides, like if it separates the stone from the roof well enough. If it does, we can keep it this level. If not, we're probably going to have to drop it down by one. And then here. Excuse me, sneeze snuck up on me and knocked me off the roof. I'm like, screw gun. Gesundheit. And all those things. And here I was building a wireframe, and I'm not at all building a wireframe. I've just gone and built the actual roof. I'm still in a very much a creative brain. Isn't that weird? I think Cosmic, you were asking before about roofs, and I think for me, now that I've built several roofs, you kind of have a quiver of roofs. Like in your arsenal, you have a number of different roofs that you can try, and that just looks like a hat. So to answer my question, it is too tall. And it is also not a shape I like. So we're definitely going to take it down at least by a block. This is where being endgame and having all this material is just awesome. Because you can switch things up so quickly. So I don't think I like a round roof. I think we're going to go for more of a square roof. And for this, I might actually be smart and use a wireframe for the roof. And now that it's nighttime, we can sleep away the rain. Yay. No! Screw gun. I don't think there's any sirens in medieval Minecraft, just a hunch. There's been a lot of sirens going by my place this weekend, actually. That's not good. Hope everybody's okay. Gather up all the stuff. And I think what we'll try to do is put a square roof on this, which will involve being a little bit extra on the corners. So we're going to stop there. And then from here, I'm just going to go up in a wireframe in the middle. And quickly check this. I think we might have to change the slabs to stairs at the bottom, these ones. But I like that better. I wonder if we can do a different, color. Because it needs something because of this. It's very much the same. I could try a dark oak roof. I don't know if it would be awful. We don't have a lot of dark oak down here. The only thing. What could we do shape-wise? We could maybe have dark oak going up the ridges. That might work. Brunch went long. Did I miss the creative stream? You did, but the VOD is up on Twitch right now, and it'll be up on YouTube later this week. So you'll always be able to catch it. Oh, screw gun. Yeah. Let's just see. So I think I'm going to need stairs along here, but the other way around. That, and then here, I wonder if we can get away with this. Oops, that's the wrong way. Collect all the things. Sometimes when I'm cruising around and doing stuff like this, I kind of wonder whether crosswalker boots would be good. So that went back up the block higher that I didn't want it to. And I feel like we're getting a hint that the dark oak is not going to work. See how that bleeds into the background too much? So that's too bad. We might be able to do a dark oak rim around the bottom. Like if we changed all of these. And then change these. This might look okay. Do this being a dynamic medium as opposed to a static one like drawing or illustration, is there a point that you just have to give those tangent-like issues and solve it a different way or ignore it? Yeah, because I mean, like, you're always moving, right? You're not in a static position. So that's kind of where you have to say, like, okay, well, you know, yes, there's a tangent, or yes, it becomes a problem, but for how long? You know, like if you're walking by it, like, so for example, see that spruce in the background? Like that to me kind of bled together, but it's for a second, right? Like this doesn't contrast too bad. That's fine. That's a little bit, I don't know. I'm tempted to drop this another block or just remove the slab on the top of it. I think the slab is causing more issues. Like here's like, it gets very close to that. I don't think we'd want to go taller. I think we'd want to go flatter, right? Like replace the slab with a trapdoor. Surprising no one. And I think that would be better. I don't like the dark oak loop around the bottom. And I'm wondering if we could use this technique here and go with trapdoors along the bottom and reduce the width of the roof. I'm also, I don't think I want this to be shorter. The fact that it's all cobble now is starting to bother me. We have to change that. So you'll also notice that it's below the height of the wall, and that's what I wanted it to feel different. So that'll help. I think even dropping it that much farther will help as well. So let's try the trapdoor idea. And we'll remove this. See how that looks there. And then we'll go up here and remove that. Nope. I guess that's the other thing too. We could put like a stone wall or something up there. That could be useful as well. I think that's how that goes. Yeah. Get all the goodies. Hey Joel, hey chat, how's everything doing today? B Ramsey doing great, thank you. Did a creative stream where we talked about building Q&A stuff. Messed around with some of the new 119 materials. Did a gradient between deep slate and Sculk, which had various degrees of success. So I like the fact that it reduces the width. Can't say I like that it's all the trapdoors, so we might throw in a couple of oak trapdoors. Specifically, we probably will put something like windows right there. And that could help us make that more interesting. I already like the height change. See how now when you walk by, it passes well underneath the tower in the background. Whoop! I fell off the bridge. McScrew gun. The curse is real. Seriously? It's like dark. You're making me very uncomfortable. Like, really, like, make up your mind. Which way you're looking, left or right? Like, I'm over here. I'm over here. And Yeah, looks a little bit funny. Maybe we have to rethink a brown roof on it. Maybe it has to have a... Maybe it has to have a square top, but maybe we can incorporate some brown to break it up, but... So one thought I have is to put some stone up there with trapdoors in between. So I think it was like here. I guess we could put maybe fence gates on the side or something. See what that looks like. If we remove the trapdoors in the bottom, or maybe we just create a railing at the top. Like, what if we treated it like this bridge over here? Right? And had like this as the top. Or we could even mimic one of those. Hmm. I mean, I'm getting a little bit bent out of shape on trying to figure out the details of this, but yeah, if it's going to be that height, it has to be brown. The whole top of it has to be trapdoors, which is not impossible. Not impossible. Do I have... Let's get some spruce. Strip spruce, maybe? I'm thinking now more like a crow's nest situation. So... what would be a good way to do this? Do 3. And then maybe here we have that. This is me really just like live spitballing what ideas could work. Nope. Actually, that might be okay. And then we get rid of all these. Oh no, scaffolding. And then here we could maybe pull these down. I know I'm not going to like this when I back up, but it's going to maybe springboard me into a slightly different idea, I hope. Trapdoors on the bridge look nice? Oh, up there, yeah. So we're getting somewhere. I feel like that looks, one, not as fancy, and two, has a little bit more function to it. Maybe we need to play with some depth. Like, this is obviously too smooth a transition. There's not enough of a change there, but that's easy to change because of obviously the trapdoors we can just put on the outside instead of the inside. Is the height okay? The issue I think we're going to have with it is the fact that there's not a lot of depth change. Cosmic says it's break time already. Holy smoke. That went by fast. So that can help with that. But there needs to be, this is very flat. So there needs to be some sort of like extra thing happening here. And maybe even that. Do I have a function in mind? This one I don't. This one is just kind of meant to be a tower that might sort of guard the river a little bit, but it doesn't have to be that. I was thinking a storehouse. I was thinking very similar to this being like a silo for grain. Maybe this could be another kind of storehouse, but the way that I've done the top of it, I sort of feel like I'm pushing it to be more of a battlement, you know? But I don't know. I feel like maybe we need to go with like a slab roof. I'll tackle that when I get back from the break. It's flipping and flopping back and forth. I feel like if it goes battlement, it's too busy. Like there's just a lot going on, and there's a lot going on along this viewpoint here, and I feel like it contrasts. So we might try something else. We could still have it be like a little bit more decorative, but I like the oak that I've added to it. I feel like that helps. So maybe we use that to our advantage. And while I'm here, I'm just gonna like bring that all the way down. I think I might like the cobble better, but for now, just want to see what that looks like. And we maybe have to change the size of it too. Maybe instead of a 3x3 on the inside, maybe it has to be 2x2. Maybe it needs to be square. I don't know. Cool. If you're new to the channel, I take a break once an hour. It is that time. I do run a few ads to help support the stream, but I'm not going to be here, so you're not missing anything. I step away for 5 or 6 minutes. Usually just gives myself a stretch. You should too. Grab a snack. And when we come back, we're going to continue on. I'm going to try not to spend too much time on this tower. I want to try to put in more roof lines because one of the questions that we had earlier was about laying out an area and designing that kind of view. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I think we'll try a slab roof on this thing, and that'll be the last attempt. And that does remind me, we might be able to get away with like a deep slate roof. Depends. There's a couple in sight, so if it spaces out nicely. Oop. I guess we'll just stick with the slab. I'll focus on this shape for now. Scaffolding. So if we decided to try something completely different. I still like these, so maybe we'll start with like this, and then from there. Legomolas, subscribe with Prime for 4 months in a row. Thanks so much, Legomolas. Appreciate that. And thanks also for the feedback yesterday on Core Keeper. It was very cool. I'm still tempted to get it. I just haven't decided if I want to spend more time playing stuff that isn't Minecraft, you know? Like I have so much to do in Minecraft, I find that I tend to worry about time away. Which I know I shouldn't, but... Nope. No. Stop it. I can play Minecraft, I swear. And again, Legomolas, thank you very much for the Prime. Folks that want to join the Discord, I saw a question about that earlier. You can join by using your Prime sub, Tier 1 sub, or by subscribing on Patreon. I think I like the shape of that. I unfortunately now have to remove these, but I think we're better than we were when we started. And if we look at that from over here, it should be okay. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be hidden by these buildings anyway, I think. I just find that it looks like such a wide brim hat when you've got slabs like this. I'm not sure exactly what we can do to help with that, but for now, I think we'll leave it. The positioning is fine. Finer details still need to come together. So to return back to this other build, I think for the roof, I want to chop out a couple of these. And we're going to go with slabs. How do I not have... Really? I put all the slabs in this? Did I not leave any inside? I guess I didn't. Need to play some more tonight. Being grocery shopping and cooking and lurking all day. Nice! I've got some cooking to do tonight. I've got some barbecuing. I've got my chicken in a wet brine in the fridge right now. I think that's going to go there. I think we're going to switch this out for stairs. And then slabs. And then we'll go stairs here. And that will mean stairs there. Nope. Screw gun. And here we'll probably do the trapdoor thing. That might be a little bit much. Nope. I did it again. I almost feel like we could wrap this around. Does that need to be there? We can make this lopsided. Doesn't have to be even. Or does it? Maybe it does. What if... change this out. So then instead of a roof, it looks more like a extension. And then we could put this there. That might be a little bit too close. Yeah. Maybe we back this up by one. And then we can put a third one in over here. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I see what I did wrong. Okay, we'll have to back up and see what this looks like. Made shredded potato, butterbean mushroom casserole, and corn and tofu salad. I still can't get into tofu. I know it's good for you, but... Sup, Joel? I watched the podcast, and I'm from Quebec on the New Brunswick border. Very cool. Mark Beats 74. Thanks for listening to the Spun Chunks. Really appreciate that. So yeah, I think the only reason I didn't want to go with like a drop on this side is because if we do want a balcony out here, which I do like, then having this here really kind of limits your access to it. So I think we have to ditch this idea. And I have to decide, I think, to bring this in by a block. That, I mean, that can go like that, and that's fine. And that all works. And then we just have this weirdness to worry about. Maybe that's where the door is. I don't know. So this feels long and narrow and useless. So it might be a good opportunity to use walls instead. I'm sticking with cobble only because that's what we're currently working with. I think it's a regional thing. Tofu, you mean? I feel like I listened to the podcast on it recently. When you say barbecue, what do you mean? Okay, so I know the difference. Barbecue, I have a Weber kettle. So I'm charcoal and wood barbecue. In Canada though, we say barbecue and we mean both. We mean gas grilling or like charcoal barbecue. Which I know is not the same in the States. In the States, there's definitely like a grilling, which is like propane, and then there's barbecue, which is like smoker, like, you know, ribs and all day cooks and pulled pork and stuff. I still haven't done a pork shoulder. I want to, but I haven't done it yet. Well, that's a pain in the butt. This is more for fashion than function. It's just meant to have like a different bit of geometry happening there. We'll have to figure out what to do with that. I imagine this whole thing would end up being planks, right? Would be my guess. Yeah. I think that's a decent start to that. My first time here, I hear you talk about the Citadel all the time. You should give me a quick tour. There is a tour. You can watch the tour with Alistair and I. As far as the tour of this area, honestly, if you hang out long enough, you'll end up seeing me fly around. Yep. I like that. It's different than everything we look this way, so I'm good with that. I'm a little concerned that these are the same. That might end up being deep slate or something. Not sure. So let's move on to the building behind it. I want to make sure that this path... So I don't want this to go any closer, obviously. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's 7 long. Has another building attached to it. I like this little space. Maybe we should start by putting a roof on this one, which I think is going to have to be like a oak roof, would be my guess. It's going to be hard to put any dark oak on this side. We're going to be very careful with that. So yeah, I feel like we might be able to get away with a dark oak rim, but I feel like oak for now. Getting super firm or pressing your own tofu helps with texture, and marinating it helps. I did hear about marinating it. I hear that's good. I usually bake it until it gets a bit crispy on the outside, and often have a super flavorful sauce to put on it. That's a good idea. Legamolas, there is a food-driven human channel in the Discord. I'm sure there are people there that would appreciate tofu tips, myself included. So if you feel like sharing, I've seen a couple of people share recipes back and forth, and there's a couple of folks in the chat that in my community that are professional chefs, which you might be. I don't know. Have we asked you that before? I need oak. That's not oak. That, and that. Little deja vu, and I need some dirt. So this is one of those situations where this is, if you look at it from the top, a 2 by 2 by 2 Not my favorite. I also think it might be worth extending this front part a little bit. To there. Kind of wonder whether we should just do 4 and 4. One, two, three, 4, and then 4 again. We'll get some diorite and see what it looks like. Actually, let's use cobble because we'll be able to see it better. This pig is all over the place, man. Yeah, that's probably going to work out better as far as a challenge goes for building it. So let's can be a prisoner pig in a minute. Move it or lose it, Porky. So that allows us to go across here. And then if we just do the old standard gable, that means these are going to be 5, which is cool. And bring enough of those. Oh, I thought I was going to be able to land on the shulker box. Let's just go with that. Would love to share if anyone's interested. I have gathered lots of good resources over the years for reliable vegetarian recipes and techniques. Very cool. I'm not a vegetarian myself, but that doesn't mean I won't, you know, enjoy a nice vegetarian meal from time to time. Matter of fact, I think my meal last night was vegetarian. I made homemade cornbread or cornmeal muffins and had like baked beans and red wine. So yeah. Well, okay, lie. Beans were in pork and molasses, so there was no meat, but there was meat involved, I guess. Depending on how you want to look at it. So we were talking about roofs in the Q&A earlier. And so I chose 4 as the base of the foundation because it means that with the overhang, your roof sections are 5. And 5 is always a fun number to work with in Minecraft. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So then we go across here. And then as the bottom shifts over by 1, you just shift all of your blocks over by 1. So from here, oops. You just know that everything you're doing just shifts. So your slabs go over in that direction by 1. And then your stairs do the same thing. Right? Now here, we have to get in here and do some changing. So that's why I wanted the dirt. Because you have to do a little bit of this sometimes. Same thing over here. Oop, darn it, screw gun. So we'll have to do that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so there's your, all the same blocks, they're just shifted in that direction by 1. Just realized we may not need this other roof because there's probably going to be another building here, but you see what I'm laying down here. So there's our inside and our outside. Baked beans are a don't ask, don't tell when I go out to eat. Yeah, I mean you can get baked beans and tomato sauce, but I don't like it. I prefer molasses, and usually when it's baked beans and molasses, it's like pork molasses. But I think it's negligible. So I like the color shift. I like that it sticks out just far enough that you can start to see it as you're coming down this way. Digging it. We'll add some details and stuff to it. We could... It might be okay if we added like a spruce outline to it. We'll have to see. We could also benefit from having... I don't think the chimney would be here. If this has a chimney, it's probably going to be on this side, right? So let's temporarily throw in something like that. Just so that we can say like, maybe we'll throw a chimney in here. Don't know what that looks like, but we'll look after we sleep. I try not to be fussy about it, but everything I cook now is plant-based. That's an excellent way to go, man. But I eat totally different than I did growing up, even through college. My peak meat-headedness was making a bacon explosion. Nice. People I haven't seen in 10 years are very confused when I tell them that I don't eat meat now. Yeah. I train very heavily, and so I eat a lot of protein. But I think I could probably do okay without red meat. I don't eat a lot of red meat. I'm mostly chicken and eggs and fish. Maritimer fish. So the chimney is probably happening. I quite like that. Adds a nice little flair. It depends on this building. If we can make sure that this building here doesn't interfere with the chimney, then I think that's pretty good. But you can see how quickly you can lay things out. And I'm not even following my guidelines. I'm not even doing wireframes. I'm kind of like, I'm focusing on entire swaths of roof. The chimney from this side, we will have to be careful with the exact position of it, but it looks good. It's going to hide itself behind the roof, but the smoke particles will help make it stand out. If we have smoke particles, maybe we just do a regular chimney. Maybe we just do like a little wall or something on top. That might be a fun way to do that too. Like a chimney without the smoke, maybe. I think I've done one of those somewhere. Yeah, there's one right there. Like that. That could work. Because I like how that gives a nice, like, into the sky. Because there's no trees and there's no wall, it gives a really interesting shape. Donair sauce. Nice. I like Donair. I don't love Donairs. I wonder if anybody in the chat is like, what the crap is a Donair? You have to look it up. Same with poutine. Well, the one person from Quebec knows what poutine is. Everybody else is like, what are you talking about? Duggan missed. I had to look it up. Here's something I don't like is Canadian pizza. I don't like the sweet tomato sauce and like ham and salami. Like there's just too much pork on the Canadian pizza. I'm a works guy. Actually, if I had my choice, it would be green pepper, mushroom, pepperoni, onion, and I'm missing something. Oh, Italian sausage. Those are my... Elkhorn, I know patina, don't know Donair. So Donair is specifically a maritime thing, a maritime Canadian thing, because of the Greek, I believe, immigrants that have set up a robust community in the Maritimes. They brought over the Donair, and over time it's become kind of like a maritime thing. So it's a slow roasted. I want to say it's pork. It's a slow roasted kind of roast on a spigot that you shave. So think like shaved roast beef, but it's got spices in it. So like it's like a oh, you have it in BC too, Caratan. That's cool. It started out here. You've imported it to BC. And I will stick that flag in the sand. That is definitely a Halifax-born thing. It's like a kebab. Yeah. But then there's like tomatoes, fresh tomatoes and onions, and the sauce is like a sweet mayonnaise. Donair pizza is fantastic, by the way. Terrible for you, but very good. Very, very good. Okay, I think I'm happy with those. I want to think about the space in between and what's happening over here. This to me is too big of a gap. I think this needs to move up a lot closer. And this isn't even very big. I think that's pretty cool. I like the idea of whatever's here sort of framing that door. Some layers. Like that. This could end up being a wall as well, so it doesn't have to necessarily be a solid block. This is also going to be very low, so the roof is going to start low. It's a noisy pig. I don't know about this. This is peculiar. I kind of wonder whether that should be a building. I think my original thought for this was just that something should stick out here. This might be a good opportunity for this to be like an outside garden. So the way that we've been kind of like marking those off in loose terms would be like maybe have like a pole or like a support there, like a fence post. If I've still got those trapdoors on me, they would be very handy right now. Yeah, I kind of like that. So something that sticks out into the path, but isn't necessarily a building, could be cool. So maybe this is like the little garden for this house here. Or pig pen. Yeah. So something like that could work. Yeah, I like that. Cool. Unfortunately, folks, I think this is where I have to wrap it up. It is getting close to dinner time for me, and all this food talk is making me hungry. And the longer I wait, because barbecue is not a fast process, the longer I have until I actually get to put food in my face. So if you've enjoyed this, then please leave a follow. Don't go anywhere. We're going to pass you on to somebody else playing Minecraft, of course. Thanks to everyone for the incredible support. Thanks to Cosmic for being absolutely awesome and helping out so much with that that creative stream we did earlier and all the questions, helping me organize the doc behind the scenes. Thanks to Sweet Sandy and Herding Cats and 100,555 for a fantastic week and weekend of modding. Of course, thank you to Cosmic for being so generous, and to everybody that subbed with their channel, not channel points, but their tier 1s or their prime. I'm just completely floored that I get to do this as much as I do, and it's because of the support of all you. I really do appreciate it. Spread the word. That's the easiest way to support the channel. Just tell friends that they don't want to miss Joel's streams. The more people we have in chat, then the more I can do this. That's just the way that the math works on that. So don't forget to check out the Spawn Chunks and the Citadel Cafe, both free podcasts. I'm going to be talking about Dune this week on the Citadel Cafe, and we have a brand new snapshot to talk about on the Spawn Chunks tomorrow. So it's a full week. Great stuff coming your way. All of those are free wherever you find your podcasts. And of course, they have individual Patreon accounts if you'd like to join the crew and support there as well. That's going to be it for me, folks. I will see you next time. Bye for now. Hold on for a raid. See ya.